And welcome to the continuation of the Sanford and Hall report, where we don't tell you what to think, but rather give you information to make you think. I'm Rear Admiral Gary Hall, and I'm here with fellow host Adriana Sanford. Adriana is an internationally renowned and award winning expert in all things global threats. Adriana, how are you?
Doing well, Gary. We're here to support International Fraud Awareness Week and to support the President, John Gill of the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. And we're trying to make a difference, and we'd like you to join us. We're here and we're calling you to act and listen to our program and think about how you can play a role and how you can help us in this critical time. The interconnectedness between fraud and security issues. To me, I think it's important to point out that broader implication of what happens with fraud. What happens when you have illicit revenues? They empower criminal networks, and it allows criminals to further embed themselves into our society, into our
communities.
It says,
"Oh, you expect too much," or you're holding things to too high of a standard, or if we do that, then we'll never be able to get anything done here. Those kinds of comments, they come up, and you have to be able to know yourself well enough to know that if you're promoted to this opportunity where you have a higher degree of accountability, you must know what good, standard, prudent business practice looks like and be able to detect when that's not being followed. And then you have to assess, is there a risk here? Is this a problem? And if so, how would you pursue gathering the necessary information to be able to do something about it? That's what comes with the job when you get promoted into, higher levels of management.
I mean, you have a lot of different experiences, but your experiences with apps that allow people to voice or provide a voice in situations that are very, very difficult. Would you see an application possible for companies, or do you have an application for companies that have maybe or maybe suspect that they have a problem? Because just because you have the app, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have a problem, but maybe they want to make sure they have no problems. Is this an app that you could use for a company, a large multinational, so that rather than just the ombudsman, because sometimes people don't trust the ombudsman, unfortunately, in some situations, is this app something that could be utilized, or is it being utilized?
This is an area where which could benefit a lot from crowdsourcing apps that use anonymous reporting, because this kind of process is basically used for situations where the victim expects repercussions or retaliation for their voicing their concerns or their reporting. So yes, definitely, especially in large multinational companies where it's when the employees become somewhat faceless, like they become more numbers than individuals. So once you go beyond 20 employees, maybe when you start to, you don't remember, you don't match the name to the face, that's when it becomes when your management practices need to take into account other methods that would make us a safe environment for anonymous reporting.